Alrighty, welcome in. We are going live for a brief moment, probably 15-20 minutes, kind of a test for the later in the day. First live stream this late. So we're 6:30 Eastern time. Depending on where you are in the world, let me know in the chat. I'd like to know where you're at and what the hell time is. So let's get right to it. For the 0 people that are actually here. Well, we got one. It's probably someone I know. So let's get to it. We're Bitcoin. We just put out a Bitcoin YouTube video earlier today. So we focused on the Gaussian channel, right? The daily Gaussian is at risk of turning red. We just rejected off the median Gaussian channel at 65.6, right? Holding as resistance as of now. We got to get back above that. We got to take out this high or we will flip red. And if we do flip red, historically, the past 2 times we've done it, this bull run, you can see right here, right? That means the lows weren't in just yet, but we were close. We took out all previous lows. Once that channel turned red, we went a little bit lower. We went back down and a little bit lower. So if we do that again, we would expect if you know, we continue the pattern, which we only have 2 data points, so I wouldn't put too much weight into it. But we could expect a sweep of the lows of 56K if we turn red. Could we avoid it? Yeah. But I would say by Wednesday at the latest, we're going to have to be, you know, above 66K. So we're going to have to wait and see where we close, right? Closing prices, if you want to make it super simple, right? Let's just get our line, our blue line above the green line on the Gaussian channel. We can avoid it turning red. If it does turn red, that's just a little bit more bearish, but the daily has a lot of fake outs, right? The 5-day Gaussian channel is kind of where the secret sauce is. Almost no fake outs, as you can see. That's where we turn red on the daily, and no red there, right? And that's why we use the Gaussian channel on the 5-day, a little bit quicker than the weekly, right? You can get much better entries and exits using the 5-day versus the weekly on Bitcoin. So if you just wait to price actions on top of the Gaussian channel, wait for it to be green. No matter if you make, you know, a buy the worst possible time as that turns green, you're going to be rescued in the not so distant future. And that's going back for Bitcoin's entire history. So let me know if something looks off in here. We can get right to your requests if you want. Normally I like to cover a little bit more Bitcoin, but this is going to be kind of a test live stream to see if anybody's actually on this late in the day. So requests in the chat. I'm happy to do it. You'll probably get your requests because there's 4 people here, so remember to like it and share it if you can. If you feel like sharing, share this stream. Try to get some more people in here. All right, let's start off with the first one. Let's get to Matic, and we'll keep the Gaussian channel on at start just to kind of look and see where coins are. And Matic's down here somewhere. Then we can remove that. I might have purged Matic here somewhere. All right, let's just add it back in. It's right there. I had it. Here we go. All right, so Matic on the 5-day, right? Gaussian channel's green, but we're back into it. Really, when you turn your 5-day Gaussian channel green on any asset, you don't want to be seeing it turn back red one or enter it again, period. I mean, just look at Bitcoin, right? If you go back to where Bitcoin was, it's just on the 5-day, it's just flip green and that's it. So if you go out to the weekly for Matic, again, it's green, but that's only one check mark. Right, you will have to have your price action above it and green to really have true confidence in it. Let's go back and look at the last cycle. I mean, look at Matic. It was the powerhouse of last cycle for sure, right? One of the best performers, over like 20,000%, 27,000%, I think it was really from bottom to top for Matic. But this cycle so far is just not acting quite the same, right? So that's a little bit of troubling signs so far that we're seeing out of Matic. It's a little stuck in the mud here. So let's remove the Gaussian channel. We don't need that. Let's just look at where we are price action wise. So this is the weekly chart and you're at the 200-week moving average. All right. Keep in mind how that should sound crazy to you. You're at the 200-week moving average. For Bitcoin to be at the 200-week moving average, right? I mean, we'd be at $31,000 for Bitcoin to be acting the same as Matic is. Right? Definitely a worrisome sign for Matic so far. So it needs to get itself out of the mud or it might just stay there. PA wise, it doesn't look great, right? Even on the daily, right? The weekly, just focus on that. If the weekly doesn't look great, then you almost don't even need to look at much else. The daily, still under the 200 day, 84 cents. Like I would be much more hesitant to owning, a ton of Matic until we're back above 85 cents. At least on the daily chart, you could see that is a clear kind of resistance. Support resistance line fell through right here. Tried to hold it, break down, and is so far been unable to pick itself off the ground. So, maybe just a victim of the kind of second cycle blues, which some coins kind of fall into that. So far, it seems like Matic's kind of there, not able to make the gains that some other coins have. All right, I want to come back to Matic at the end if I have time here. Let's get to FTM. When you compare these, we did this on the last live stream, or I think we did, right? Comparing your coins on a simple line chart. So if you remember that and you're on the last live stream, a good little trick. So FTM, I hate having to look for all these. So I know I have most of these coins on that chart, but just for sake of, there it was again. Okay, FTM. All right, so above the 200 week. So first check mark, you're all clear there. Look at the retest on that low. When we got those lows in April, right, mid-April, look at where it previously went, right? So this is a good sign, right? Your breakout, previous all-time high, your previously local highs, right? Trampoline bounce up, come back down, and hold that level. That's a good sign, right? So good sign, you held the 200 week, and a good sign that you didn't breach and close back below those high closes. So structurally, that looks good. We are under the 21 week, which is not, technically ideal. We'd like to see, your coins not go back under the 21 week, but from our lows, we're down. We went down 55% pretty quickly in 22 days. We're still down over 40% off the highs. Right, so let's do like a little fib extension here. See where we could possibly be looking at for resistance. So, I mean, obviously the 786, the dollar area, right? The human mentality of the round numbers, the dollar plus a fib level, that's going to be pretty pivotal. That's still a ways up though, right? Trending sideways, look at the moving averages. We still have 45% to get to where we can gain traction again and start to put in these bigger moves. When your moving averages are moving sideways like this, it's hard to do anything but really spin your tires. So you kind of got to wait for it to trend. So far, the trend, not just FTM, but most coins are just in these lower high modes and lower lows. So we're in a downtrend, but we're trying to form this bottom here. So step one, we need to take out this high and start to turn this trend around, right? Step two would be up here, and then we can reverse and then go back to, the good times again, where FTM can kind of really rocket up the stairs. But for now, most coins, FTM included, it's in this short-term daily downtrend. Do a brief check on the weekly. Looking good here, right? Similar vibes to what we looked at on the daily, right? Here's your zone where you don't want your coins going back below these breakouts. And we didn't do that. And we're, not only that, but we're holding the 21 week with these wicks. That's a sign of power. So we can really, look back here. Right, come back down, hold the 21 week for several weeks, and trampoline up. Come back down, 21 week. Right? It seems like this has got the structure to, continue with its powerful moves to the upside. So it looks good. So ASI coin. So if you don't know about ASI is the combination of Fetch, Ajax, and Ocean, which will be the new coin. It's rumored to have a $7.5 billion roughly market cap when it comes out. And what the hell's the price action going to be? Well, we've never really, to my knowledge, I've never really heard of any coins doing this. At least on 3 coins joining. If anybody else knows of that, let me know. So I don't really know what to expect because we're in kind of uncharted waters. Structurally, those 3 coins look great. I think Fetch is leading the way on those 3. You don't have to take my word for it. You can compare it, right? Let's look at this. For Fetch, let's watch this. So this will be useful even if you're not into Fetch, right? Compare your altcoins to Bitcoin or Fetch, right? You can just put on a simple line chart, right? Nothing else. go up to this plus button up here, and then let's say you like Render, right? Or let's say you want to add in Matic, right? This is what I was going to show you on Matic. So let's go to, like Coinbase, right? Let's add Matic in. Let's look at FTM. Let's add FTM in there, right? We'll do that. And then you can look at this on a line chart and compare them from the same starting point, right? So they're all right here. And look at the differences. And you're like, well, which one's which? There you go. So Fetch is in the dark blue. Then you got Render in the orange. Look at these gains. Matic, for Matic, right? FTM, 164. This is a great way to compare your entire portfolio. You can do it on anything. Just clear everything else out, put it on line chart, and then no matter where you start, make sure you're starting at the same, and they're roughly about the same level. So I'm using kind of November of 2022, right? Kind of the early start of the bull market. You can go January, right? The numbers will change a little bit, but everything kind of holds the same, right? Look at Render and Fetch just leading the way, right? So you can really, you don't even have to own the coins, right? What else do you want to own? Yeah, you'd want to eliminate the ones that are down here and start to stack the ones that are here. Because if they've performed well over the past year, they're likely going to continue that trend. Those are the strong coins versus the non-strong coins, right? It's going to be hard for these guys that are minus 6% for the past 12 months plus to start to rival and keep up with the the Schwarzeneggers and the Rock Johnsons of the cycle here, right? So hopefully that kind of makes it a clear point. All right. What else we got? Yeah, so we're testing a new time here. If this goes halfway decent, it seemed like it's already. I got whopping 13 people here, so that's about average. I'll try to do these maybe several times per week, or maybe even if they start to get better, right? As we gain more people, maybe I'll do them every day. All right, let's see what else. Theta, another request for Theta. Let's get it. Thank you for the comments. I love your content. Appreciate that. Cooking with gas, cooking with grease. Just make sure the gas is on for. I don't know where I'm going. Theta. Let's get to Theta before we get off on tangents. All right, here we go. Well, we don't need that. Let's clear this off. Here, let's just exit these out. You can leave it on, right? I mean, we could leave Theta on, right? If we wanted to leave that on, let's see what it looks like. There's Theta down there, right? You can do that as well. So Theta is in the now dark blue, right? So there you go. Let's remove all these though, because I'm sure you want to see more than that. But just helpful tips to compare your coins, right? If someone says their coin is great, well, now you can just look at it really quick and either prove or disprove that. So here's Theta, right? On the weekly, zoomed way out. As I've said in a lot of my live streams and some videos, if your coins are still below their 2022 highs, it's a sign of worry, because they're, again, one of those stuck in the mud potentials. This is that, right? Here's your March 2022, right? These is still bear market. You're not able to get off your bear market highs yet. Or lows, really, right? The lowest high, you could go with that. You see what I'm saying? Right, here's our flip level for Theta. It's like over $4 for sure, which we're still got some room to make up. We still got to basically do a 2x to get out of said mud, right? Look at the swing lows from the bull. Again, this is like one of the best performers last cycle, like Matic, is just more stuck this cycle, because why the hell would that be? In general, it's just people want the new stuff. You don't have to make it much more complex than that. That's generally it. You can have all the greatest fundamentals in the world, and there's a lot of coins that have that just don't help you out money-wise, right? If it's not making you money, it doesn't make sense, right? So here's our level, right? Swing highs from January 2021 meets swing lows of February 2022. We're still there, right? So keep that in mind. If we get up here next week, then great. I think it could make some more room. And I'm not saying it's not going to be great, but it's just you're trying to use the odds to stack on your favor. This doesn't give me the warm and fuzzies just yet. Just kind of like Matic, right? I had high hopes. Last cycle is great. Structurally, it looks okay, right? It's above the 21 week. It's above the breakout, but just look at that chart. That seems a little weak so far in this cycle when there's coins that you can literally compare and they're up like triple, 5x, 10x more than this. Just I'll kind of leave it at that. So it looks good structurally, not saying anything like that. Fundamentally, not saying anything about that, but ride the strong horses, right? All right, we got more people in here now. We got one more. What else we got? All right, we got another request for Ondo. We'll do Ondo real quick. All right, short, not a whole lot of history here. So we probably got this requested last time. So structurally on the daily looks good, right? Previous high, breakout. You want to hold that always. If your coins are coming back down here, again, more worrisome sign. But on the daily chart looks good. A lot of volatility. Look at that. So super volatile. I mean, in 3 days' time, it did like a 2x from the lows to the highs. Yeah, that would shake you out if you're playing with emotional trades, right? But looking good above all moving averages now. Let's see what the Gaussian channel, right? We'd like to get out of that. Look at the lows holding on the median Gaussian channel. That's a good sign. But we got to get going. And, we don't have much history here. So, TA is a little bit less impactful the less amount of history you have, right? It's more concrete on Bitcoin, obviously. The stock market, tons, right? But if you're looking at a few months of history, it's just relatively out the window. I'd focus more on like fib scales than kind of TA on these shorter time frames. All right, what else? Link Bitcoin. Glad you asked. Get up here to it. Here somewhere. I can just go to my list. And you can also do this. I have altcoins versus Bitcoin, right? So you don't have to compare your coin or try to search for it. All this whole chart over here is just altcoins to Bitcoin. And the notable strongest ones are these ones in teal that I've already highlighted here. So let's go to Link Bitcoin, which is right there. And note, Link Bitcoin is not a strong pairing against Bitcoin, at least this cycle. So going out to the weekly, look at that. Last cycle, Link dominated Bitcoin. 2019, 2020, that was Link's time. So far, not so good. Now we're back under the Gaussian channel on the weekly. Back to these swing lows. Not looking super great here, right? Trying to put in a higher low. Maybe you could call this a double bottom, but so far it's a double top, right? The double top confirms when the lows are taken out, not when the highs are made. So this is now confirmed as a double top on the weekly chart. We take out this low, that's when it confirmed, and we're under the weekly Gaussian channel and below all moving averages. This just doesn't look great. Comparing, if your coins are like this against Bitcoin, like you better hope they're up against USD. But for the most part, the general best advice you could take is like, if you're not outperforming Bitcoin, why not just hold Bitcoin, right? You'd be better off of just flipping all your Link to Bitcoin right over here or even here, right? And holding Bitcoin, then look how much more Link you could buy here, right? Now, if you did that, then that's might be a decent trade. If you got out at 9,000 and now you can buy in for 2,000 Satoshis, right? That's how that works. Okay, but for the past 3 years now, Link is just done doing pretty much nothing but down against Bitcoin. So not looking too promising, as terrible as that sounds. We just got to see a turnaround. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is the higher low and it's getting ready to start something wacko, but we just don't see it in the charts yet. That's all we can go off of. Alrighty. Chainlink have any hope of breaking $20 this year? It doesn't seem like it, right? It seems like the patience is always tested against Senior Link. Well, yeah, we've already broken 20, but here's the weekly snapshot of Chainlink, right? Down to the 100 week in this blue, right? Holding at the top of the channel. If your coin, not just Link, but if any coin goes back inside a weekly Gaussian channel after turning green, big sign of weakness, right? You're just not bullish enough. You got to do it. I mean, just look at Bitcoin versus the weekly Gaussian channel. We're flipping to Bitcoin. That's what you want to be doing. You touch the weekly Gaussian channel, it's like you're just running into a burning building. You might make it out, but why go in there? Just stay outside. Play something else. So we're not there yet. Link could make a tear, but it's got to go soon, man. I mean, this is already back to swing lows. It's under the 21 week. It's on the verge of not looking so hot, right? So that's that. $20. Can it back of 20? Of course, right? But right again, here's our April 2022 highs. We did clear that, so technically you're still in our approval zone. But I'd like to see something sooner than later out of Link because we're getting dangerously close to running into the weekly Gaussian, which you don't really want to do. Seems like Injective is topped. I don't think so. I think that was a really harsh fake out, and I don't think anybody deserved that with that wick high. But they follow Injective on Twitter. They're doing a ton of stuff, and it has done crazy well so far. So again, I mean, look, 4,000% this cycle. I don't think it's underperforming by any means. Over the past several weeks, yeah, I get it. And all this chop, yeah. But I think Injective still has a high probability of not only being a triple digit coin, but maybe a $200+ coin this cycle. Right, here's the fib extension here. So going back from swing highs to swing lows, right? It's already taken out the one, right? There's many coins that haven't even surpassed their highs yet, right? Think of that. A throwback, right? Look at our move back, a breakout throwback retest of that same zone from 2021. Structurally, this looks really good. The 2618 is at $54, 3618, the 423 at 87, right? So I get that why you say like this a multi-billion-dollar market cap is down 65%. That's already batshit crazy. So this is not typical of bull cycles for coins to do this. So for people thinking that Bitcoin's going back to 40K next week or next month or whatever, I would argue that if that happens, like we're probably not in a bull market anymore, and we're probably starting a bear. But I don't think that's happening. I think the likelihood of the lows either being in or very close to being in for market wide is pretty high odds in my eyes. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Do a little bit more. Pretty good. So maybe I'll do this again tomorrow. Maybe we'll set a more particular time as we grow an audience. But let's see what else we got. What's up, T Mick? Some old familiar faces here, and maybe some new ones. Anybody new here? Never seen me before? Who the hell is this guy? Recognize some of y'all. Yeah, I'm from the South U.S. I'm from Florida. We're allowed to say that. What else? GRT request for GRT. I think it's here somewhere. Let me see if I can. There it is, right there. All right, I got GRT here. So let's do our checks. Are we above 2022 highs? No. That's already an issue. Are we above the Gaussian channel? Yes. Are we above the 21 week? Yes. So it's got some good signs going for it on the short time frame. I'm talking short time frame over the past year or so. But we're not above these 2022 highs yet from our bear market, and that's a slight issue. Right? A lot of coins are well above those levels. Well above. Right? We just looked at Injective that's already above its all-time highs from 2021. Right? That would be like say GRT would have to be around 280, 250 at least, right, to be tracking with Injective. So that gives you some perspective there, right? How many of you would be ecstatic with a 250 GRT right now, right? So again, you can use those line charts and compare your coins, right? Just put it on here, get rid of everything. Let's go look at it, right? I just want to see it. GRT, let's remove all the remove everything. Okay, so let's add, what do we just look at? Go FTM, you go Matic, Render, How about even Solana? Right? Look at these. Let's remove the fib. Right? So we have GRT up 100%. Well, let's get to the start of the run, right? 2023. That's kind of right there, right? The start of our bull run right in front of us. GRT is up 300%. We have FTM up 200%. We have Matic down 20%. Render is up a modest 1900%. Solana up 1000%. Right? So this is a great, easy way to compare all your coins. You think they're doing well? Okay, go check. Some of the better ones are Render. I think the best one is Fetch since the start of the cycle. Look at Fetch, 2200% since the start of the bull run. Which ones are better? And Injective was up there. Injective was leading the way for a long time. Look at Injective. Right? Look how fast Injective went up. Injective was the clear leader up until recently. And it's still up there. Jesus. It's still at 1500%, right? Just go compare. Now, it's not going to do any good if you compare a newer coin. Like if you go compare like NFP, like NFP just started, so you can't really compare them equally. But you can go start right here. You can still see the difference. So just a kind of a good little trick that I haven't seen it really anybody use. You can instantly compare your coins to other coins. Compare it to Bitcoin. Right? You just want to add Bitcoin to it. Like just go throw Bitcoin on there. Bitcoin up, 134% since the start of this chart here. So you can just adjust that wherever you feel like. Right? And there's Bitcoin. So obviously you'd want your altcoins higher than that, right? Or you should have just held Bitcoin and been better off. Least risky. So now's your time to do all this stuff. If you've been messing up for the past year, do yourself a favor, do some homework, compare your coins to Bitcoin, compare your coins to other coins, and get in the stronger coins. Ideally, when they are doing a throwback or retest, you could have bought Render 2 days ago for like $6. It's already at 10. Like Render's up 40% in just a few days here. Right? Look off these lows. Even from the ultra lows, Render is up 61%. How is your coin done since those drops? In the past 28 days, is your coin up 61%? I would doubt it. So just kind of a thought there. If you're like, what the hell happened? Right, you just put on line chart. There you go. All right, so I'll kind of wrap it up there. I got some stuff I got to do, but I think we'll do this again tomorrow. Do it tomorrow, probably about the same time. If that works for everybody. We'll do all more requests. Hopefully you learned something today. Thumbs up, share it. Remember, if you join a live stream, share it somewhere. Get more people in here. Then I'll do more. We'll try to do another one of these tomorrow. And maybe every day this week. Maybe we'll just see how that goes. Same bat time, same bat channel. All right, I'll see you on the next one. Thanks so much for joining. Hopefully to see you. Well, hopefully you see me. Hopefully you got your eyes open during all this. I won't see you, but I picture you all in my head. All right, see ya. Before it gets weird.